Yeah, I actually get a bit laughed at in the Survivor community because of that. Survivor community being my old Survivor team, I guess you would call. But it only makes sense. People going out and stealing other people's food and water and shelter and weapons. Why wouldn't it happen out in the open seas, where it's probably most safe from the zombies? Zombies don't know how to swim. Sure, they can float and wash up on shore, but they ain't washing up on shore on a boat. Boats don't have shores. Here, this big metal door I think is really cool. It's pretty heavy. I was thinking about using it for my shelter. I still am. But, like I said, it's pretty damn heavy. And I think it's pretty cool looking where it is, so I don't know, maybe in the future. Over here is where I came from, this path. You keep going straight, you end up in someone's backyard. It's a bit of a hike from my campsite to this place, but if you keep going, I can see the house from here, and that means someone could possibly see me, so I'm not going any further. But keep going down here. It's a little bit of a turn to the right, and then a sharp turn to the left. Leads right out to that person's backyard. Now, there used to be a fire alley that goes all the way across the backs against the main road behind the houses. It's a little grown in, but if you can get past it all, you'll be able to get back to where I am. Get out of here. Like I said, dump site. I don't know if you can see those trash bags there, but there's a couple of redneck hicks probably out here drinking a few beers, tossing their garbage. My campsite is actually what appears to be an old gun range. It's a lot of shotgun shells and shot up targets back there. I'm going back to the campsite to see if I burned down that section of the woods by leaving my campfire open, which is really something you shouldn't do. Obviously, Smokey the Bear will tell you. But another thing is, I didn't need both of those campfires going. My main campfire is a couple of boards. It's no big deal. My little stove, it's a couple of little twigs and a lot of dead leaves. It's probably burnt out by now. I just wanted it going for the effect. Gotta dodge a lot of limbs over here, but I just wanted them both going so you can see my setup, which I'm very proud of. You might think it's a little crappy, but that thing took me forever to build. Look for moss, which another thing about moss I forgot to tell you is that when you're cutting it up, you want to go up from the bottom. But once you have it all cut up and you think it's good, you want to either run your knife through the bottom or your hand through the bottom, because another board, because there could be a little root underneath it. And if there's one single tiny root, it will rip apart your sheet of moss, and then you won't have a full piece. Now, when you're working with moss, just want to lay it down on there flat. Moss is naturally waterproof. It's basically really fine grass on top of a sheet of compressed dirt. Any water that comes on here is It's going to be absorbed by the moss, or it's just going to run right down. Now, since it hasn't rained yet, I don't know if I made it well enough. You might have to work with it a little bit. If you go underneath and look up and you see light coming through, obviously it's going to leak when it rains. But for now, I think it's pretty good. I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about. I really don't want to shut off my laptop. There's really nothing to do out here. My 2 books, read them both quite a few times. My knife, broken. Can't really play with it that much because I don't want to break it even more. At least and my favorite walking stick. I don't know if I got a good enough shot before, but this is it. It's a little taller than I am, but it's pretty sweet. Makes me feel like a druid or something. And stuck out in the woods making the best of it. Well, probably should turn off my camera. Well, my laptop too, obviously. Like I said, there are boards everywhere. I didn't even notice this before, but it's going in the fire. Another thing, I still don't know what these trees are called. I don't know what these are called. There's 2 main things. They rot easy, which when they rot, they're not very good firewood. Their branches die and dry out very good. They make good firewood, but not the main trunk. 2, their bark is extremely flammable and really good for starting fires. Now, there's a little sap on there. I really don't like cutting down trees, killing animals, but for the most part, it's so I can survive. Look at that shrivel up. It's a necessity, basically. If you don't like it, you're gonna have to do it eventually. I don't know if you can see that going, but it just erupted. There it goes. I personally haven't seen any squirrels or anything, but it's pretty good. Another thing. I'm afraid I might have to reshoot this. It's very choppy. Sorry, probably won't. Just leave it in editing. As you can see, I'm not raised up off the ground. You're probably going to want that. Me, I could carry either less. There's no poisonous snakes, no poisonous bugs that I'm aware of, and there's no real ants in the area. My little fire keeps most bugs away, like mosquitoes and such. So I'm good. But if you're in an area where you know there's rattlesnakes or scorpions or, I don't know, something, you're going to want to raise yourself up. And when I say raise yourself up, I don't mean make a pile of sticks and sleep on it. I mean actually make an attempt to save your own life, because that's what you're doing. As for me, I'm going to edit this up. I think I'm going to go look for more firewood or something. I'll see you folks in a couple days. I'll keep checking up. Don't worry, as soon as it rains, you'll be the second ones to know. But take care of yourselves.